Okay, you're back. Last time on Hiralious Hunts This Journal. The prompt involves bones and secrets. And while I trust you with my life, I hope you understand I can't trust you with my bones! Okay, so full disclosure, this was not the first idea I had when I read the prompt. My first thoughts were, a human skeleton is all well and good, but I just studied the human body for a couple semesters in school. So how about I create my own creature? So I googled weird skulls and expanded from there. This is what I came up with the assistance of Photoshop. If you can name all the animals he's composed of in the comments down below, you get 27 bonus points. After that I drew him digitally, and now we're gonna piece him together because I go hard. He is Beelzebubbles and he has bones black like obsidian. Black like obsidian. Obsidian! I pictured him clawing his way up through the dirt. I think what happened is the human skeleton used to be a man who acquired Beelzebubbles' tail and paid for it with his life. Now Bubby is returning from the grave to find his stolen tail. I'm still workshopping it. Isn't he pretty? Okay, full disclosure. I did not draw Beelzebubbles first. Today, we're going into the beyond of Hunt This Journal because I have too many ideas. I apologize for these videos coming out a little later than expected. When we started editing the sculpture segments, we realized that... You done? We realized that there was about 3 days worth of footage. I actually started this part of the project first. It just took way longer than the 2D version. It has required several passes of editing, but we finally gotten it down to 36 minutes. So, bad news is this 2-parter has become a 3-parter. Good news is that they're both dropping today. So if you'd like, you can watch them back to back or watch all 3. That's great. Or if you feel like just watching one at a time, that's also great. I'll link the other videos down below. Yes, I will. This video is going to be the armature making, sculpting, and painting. And then the third video will be adding texture. Gotta have the texture. And assemblage and finishing touches. Alright, enough of this. Let's get to work. To begin, I took 2 pieces of wire and twisted them together. I twisted it back around to shape the rib cage. I'm using the photo collage reference that I made in Photoshop as a guide. I do a lot of twisted wire sculptures with cold connections. I'm using a crochet hook to aid in twisting the spines for his back. Moving on to the ribs. Ah, my hands! I don't usually work on figures this small, so I had to do some stretching. When I began this, I envisioned it as a wind chime. I think wind chimes are beautiful. I guess I focused more on the hanging aspect and the noise making aspect. So maybe next time I'll try to make something that makes a pretty noise. I pictured in my head this dragon-like skeleton clawing its way up out of a grave. And then the top of the wind chimes would be the grave and the actual wind chime, but I guess it's more of a mobile, is the skeleton. Lovely. I felt like there weren't enough spines, so I decided to add more spines. Now I'm making his fins. Yes, fins. I think that he's aquatic. This was really a tough one to edit. I hope you can see what I'm doing. It's not necessarily a conscious thing. I try to make a combination of ugly and beautiful with my work, turning something that you would think would be ugly more beautiful. I don't know. I think that's a subconscious thing with me because I'm fascinated with things that are sort of grotesque, but I also love shiny things. That started out real deep and it got very basic very quickly. I'm using Apoxie Sculpt to secure the spines of his fins so they don't move around when I sculpt later on. Apoxie Sculpt is a two-part epoxy that is air dry after you mix it. You can use it to sculpt almost anything. It's very strong once it dries, but you have to work quickly because, I mean, it's air dry once you mix it. I think it has about an hour and a half working life. Okay, I moved to Sculpey to cover the armature. I haven't had much luck with Sculpey in the past, to be completely honest. Many of my pieces became brittle over time, but Nerd E Crafter and Ace of Clay swear by it, so I decided to give it another shot. I may not have cooked my pieces in the past long enough. That's something that I've learned. I cooked this guy to the point of burning, so hopefully it didn't mess it up again. One of the things I've learned about Sculpey is that you can bake it for 15 minutes to save your progress, as Miss Nerd E says. It hardens it enough so that you can sculpt on top of it without ruining what you've already done. Including liquid Sculpey as you attach putting liquid Sculpey on the baked bits to adhere the fresh bits of Sculpey is advisable. It's like using slip with ceramics. Probably should have used liquid Sculpey with the fins. Oops. These will be the armatures for the spine. Oh boy, the head. My favorite part. I've started drawing what he looks like with skin. Let me know what you think he looks like, and if you'd like to see the sketch when I'm finished. Giving him some tusks and teeth. If you are unaware of who Nerdy Crafter is or Ace of Clay, I will link their channels down below. I'd never done something like this before in terms of hanging something that needed to be precise, and I also was sculpting all the pieces separately, so it was a little nerve-wracking because I didn't know if they would look the way that I wanted them to once I put them all together. I'm pleased that I tried, and even if it wouldn't have worked, I feel like I could have adjusted to make it work. And every project that I do for you guys is helping build my confidence in my abilities, and I really appreciate that. Right now the goal is just to work on things that I think are fun, that I hope you guys think are fun, just so that I can gain a little confidence in myself. That is legit. I think that it's important to show the process even if there are mistakes. It's those videos that really help me feel confident that I can do this, that I can make my art and live. Back to the video, I went off on a tangent. Cheese and crackers. Progress saved. Alrighty, now I'm making the hardware that I will use to hang him. Hang him? Yes, hang him. There were some pieces of the Sculpey that were too thin, and I reinforced those with the epoxy clay. Hooray! Moving on to painting. I covered everything with a layer of black 2.0 from Stuart Simple's Culture Hustle. It's a lovely base black. I used interference orange, green, violet, and blue in washes to give Bubby's black bones a bit of shimmer. Obsidian, anyone?
Interference.
When using these interference colors, I prefer to use them on black or darker colors as opposed to on white. I think they pop in a different way. I mean, obviously they pop in a different way, but I like the way that they pop better on black than they do on white. What do you think? I think he's coming along nicely. What would your skeleton collage look like? If you end up making one, feel free to send it to me on Instagram at Hiralious_art or tag Build Yourself a Skeleton on Instagram. Have you figured out what animals Bubby's made up of? Let me know in the comment. Have you figured out the animals that Bubby's made up of? Let me know that. And have you figured out all the animals that Bubby's made up of? Let me know that in the comments down below. And have you figured out all the animals that Bubby's made up of? Let me know that and any other thoughts in the comments down below. Alright. Did you hear that? My hands just farted. I will keep you in suspense no longer. Let's finish this.
Obsidian!